Hi everybody, thank y'all for tuning in to a Pints and Amiga tech thing / unboxing. We have some hardware and everything that we've ordered, some things that have been sent in to us, as well as a couple of projects and things that we've completed, worked on, and everything. I also have here, as you can probably tell, I have some Dogfish Head, some Dragons and Yum Yums, which I will actually pop right now. I don't know what you're saying. Don't mix your beer in your hardware. Well, that's why it's way the heck over here. And so, let's get started. There we go. So good. So, now, I understand what you're saying here, and I can already hear the comments. Well, he's already unpacked this. Well, there's a reason behind that, and you'll see. So, this is a little bit of a special circumstance on the hardware because I kind of needed to make sure all the parts and stuff were here. So, without any further ado, this is a A4000 daughter board made by Aranet. This is the new Revision B version 1.2. I actually bought this from him with only like 3 units left. This is an awesome little A4000 daughter board replacement. So here are your Zorro 3 slots, your graphics card slot here, your other Zorro 3. So it's 4 Zorro 3 slots in your regular 4000 graphics card slot, 3000 graphics card slot. But this is awesome because this is a new redesigned board. It's all new modern PCB printing. It also has this awesome friggin' flame print on the back. How awesome is that? And everything. But I kind of and also as you can probably tell, there's this nice little Space Invaders for this, print thing here for if you needed to break this off, you could. But anyway, due to the nature of this being that it's, a DIY kind of build it yourself project, I needed to make sure that all the parts were there. So that's why it's kind of a not quite unboxing because it's kind of already sorted boxing. But I need to make sure all of my ICs and capacitors and all that, which are right here, are in place. And then all my slots were there. I needed to make sure everything was there. And then the cool thing about this board is it also includes a VGA socket on it and spot and everything for it. Which, correct me if I'm wrong, if anybody out there that's watching this knows that if I'm wrong or not. But I think all this is just a standard pass through. I don't think it does any kind of flicker fixing or anything like that. So if I'm wrong, correct me in the comments below. But I think that this is just basically a RGB, basically like a 25 pin to VGA adapter. No flicker fixing or anything like that. But I understand why you included Aranet, and thank you. But unfortunately for anybody that's known, we have a VA2000 graphics card. So this is, a cool novelty, but not necessarily useful to me. But thank you for including it, because I know a lot of you Amiga people out there that own a 4000 that don't necessarily have the resources to get you a nice FPGA graphics card or an old stock graphics card. So, good hardware. Looking forward to building this and everything. Keep an eye out because I will be at Bo Zimmerman's, Central Texas Commodore user group up in Round Rock. To work on this. He has all the tools and things that I need and the expertise necessary to actually build and do this correctly in the right way. So I might actually be filming that. We're still trying to work out the logistics for that. So if I can actually make that happen and work that out, be on the look for that because I will be posting potentially either a live stream or a pre-recorded video of that to show y'all and actually show this being built and everything. This is very interesting. And for y'all that are wondering, how much does this cost? It's about $80 to $100 US. I think it comes out to somewhere right around like 60 or 70 euros, something like that. The last time I checked, I think he's out of them. And like I said, I bought him when he only had like 3 left. It was an awesome deal. I think they're well worth the money. And of course, anything modern build quality and things like that. Modern PCB and modern engineering is going to show a lot there, and I just dropped that on the floor. So it's going to last, you know, for 30, 40 years, hopefully. So moving on, I'm going to get that out of the way. Moving on to our first package here, and I'm going to bring up my little X-Acto knife. So I have some things. This is from Amiga on the Lake. This is some things that I ordered for me and my dad and for a couple of our machines, and there's some good goodies that my dad's probably going to be surprised to see in here. This is and I also had some more stuff coming, but I'm getting a little anxious, so there might be actually a part 2 to this, because there's some more stuff coming from overseas that is still going to take a little while to get here. So keep an eye out for that as well. But let's go ahead and open this up. And again, this is from Amiga on the Lake. This is, as far as I know, the only US Amiga modern hardware for classics, next gen, all that sort of stuff. All like Amiga Kit, Amiga Store, those sort of guys. But here in the US, I think Amiga on the Lake is the only one that actually sells classic and next gen Amiga hardware. And this is where I've ordered this stuff from. And let's get this open here. Alright, here we go. So this is going to be a little bit of a surprise for both on our end and on y'all's end. So here you go. This is the shipping details. And here we go. Thank you for your order. And it's signed by Jeff and Aaron from Pints Amiga. So thank you, Jeff and Aaron. That's a hand signature right there. So thank you very much. And very prompt shipping. Again, here in the United States. So got here pretty quick through the mail. Put that up over there. Let's open this up. I think I know what this is. Okay. So here's part number 1 already. They kind of wrapped a couple of things up. Oh, I don't want to give away a couple of things, so I'm going to wrap that back up. So part number 1 is we've been actually trying to get a 500 and 600 up off the ground. The big thing of it is we only have a European power supply, which we've modded. I'll get to here in a moment. But at the same time, we're trying to build another power supply mod out of an ATX power supply. And I just bought the 5-pin 600, 500, 1200 connector. So this is all comes into parts and everything like that, and it's very nicely built, and it's all kind of right there. And oh, I might have just screwed up and goofed that all. Let's see if I can get that back together and not lose anything here. Uh-oh. Okay, there. That'll work. Good enough. So yep, it's all right there. There's the that's the 5-pin connector for 500, 600s, 1200s, all that sort of stuff. Amiga on the Lake was the only one that I could find that actually had them in stock that wasn't going to take forever to get here. So thank you, Amiga on the Lake, again for having these in stock and helping us move on with that project that we'll get to. So before I get to this next part, I think I need to get to a big part to make sense of this part, because I already kind of know what this part is. So let's move on to this big box and circumvent that for a moment. So some of this stuff, like I said before, is maybe going to be a little bit of a surprise for my dad, who's over there keeping everything straight and everything for me, and making sure this video is getting recorded good. But yes, I know what these are supposed to be, but I'm excited to see them. And like I said, I still have a couple of more things. Guys, this is so nice. It's already teasing me. I'm so excited. But again, like I said, I got a couple of more things coming from Amiga Store from Spain and everything that is going to be even a bigger surprise. But this is actually pretty interesting. So here we go. There's some standoffs to start, but here's the big thing. is say hello. Hello, Dad. This is a Fiora 020 33 megahertz accelerator for our A600. So this little guy is awesome. This is a 33 megahertz 020 with 9.5 megs of flash RAM. It also comes with the Fiora tool to do a bunch of other cool stuff. And it also allows you to be able to load kickstarts into flash RAM, so you can actually do soft kicks and things like that. And this is just an awesome little accelerator. It's also got an FPU clocked at 40 megahertz on it as well. So this accelerator right here makes a stock 600 faster than a stock 3000. It's awesome. This little thing is amazing. And so thank you for Amiga on the Lake for sending. Well, I mean, I bought it, of course, you know, I paid for it, but thank you, Amiga on the Lake, for actually having it in stock and being a distributor. I can't talk, but a distributor that I can rely on and that can get it to me in a timely fashion. And so, yes, this is going to be an awesome addition to our 600. It's awesome to see this little thing in person. And yeah, that is definitely an 020 clocked at 33 megahertz. So we might even have to look into overclocking this slightly. I don't know. Maybe we could push it to 40. I don't know. So, but yeah, this is a Fiora EC 020, and that is a Motorola 020 clocked at 33 megahertz with an FPU clocked at 40 megahertz, 9.5 megs of RAM, and with the ability to load kickstarts into flash mem to do soft kicks in soft boots. So yeah, and then they include the included standoffs and stuff. And no, there's no manual. So, but I'm sure there's a digital way. But yeah, let's get this wrapped back up here. Get this package back up. But yeah, that's the big surprise for the 600. So yeah, I can already see the grin on my father's face over there, just like the sun. He's excited. I'm excited. That's why I wanted to do this video. So let's put that over here. Now, to get back over here, this is another piece for the 600. And this right here, if I can actually get it out of the packaging in the right way. There we go. This is a IDE to CF card adapter. It's kind of a right angle adapter for the 600. This goes from the 600's IDE interface to a CF card. And the reason why I got this is, so there's a little bit of up in the air about this. I'm pretty sure that this will fit with the Fiora inside of the 600 after looking at pictures and things like that and looking at sizes. I think that this is going to fit in the side of there just fine and make clearance in between the accelerator card and this card. Because the thing of it is on the 600, between this IDE interface and the Fiora, there's not a whole lot of space there. But I think this is going to work just fine, and this is cheaper than the AM Cider for SD and everything like that. And the cool thing about this is that when you put it inside of the 600, and this is our 600 that I recently bought, this is a PAL 600, this will go basically right here above the PCMIA slot and everything right there. I have to modify the case a little bit, but it will go right above that PCMIA slot and fit in there just fine. So I have to modify the case a little bit, but this was $22 versus the AM Cider, which does the standoff and goes out to the IDE to SD thing, and that's like $40. So this was almost half as much. And the cool thing about it is I already have a CF to SD card adapter from other things, so I'm gonna give this a shot. like I said, I'm kind of risking a couple of things with that, but I think it's going to work fine. And from what I said earlier is I think there's going to be plenty of clearance to make that work and to do that. So there you go. So we have the Fiora, the 5-pin adapter, and the CF card adapter from Amiga on the Lake. Let's get this out of the way. Alright, so the big package that probably everybody's going, what's in that big yellow package? This is actually from Amiga Store EU, which is based out of Spain. And I actually have a lot of stuff coming from them. I've actually done like 3 or 4 orders. This is the first one coming in, so I have like 2 or 3 more orders waiting to come in. They're kind of a little bit slow here in the United States, coming from overseas. But, you know, it comes with the territory. But they shipped this, the US got this in through DHL, so it's the first time from DHL in years that I've actually gotten something from these guys. DHL here in the States mainly deals with overseas international shipping type stuff anyway nowadays. They're not as big as they used to be. So let's get that out of the way. Alright, so like I said, this is from Amiga Store EU. This is from the guys over in Spain. They're one of the next biggest Amiga parts resellers, you know, modern parts sort of thing, all alike. Amiga on the Lake, Amy Kit, that sort of thing. So, yeah. Let's see. Now, kind of, again, these are things that I've already ordered and stuff, so I kind of know what is in here, but I'm so excited to see this stuff. I've been waiting for it for weeks now to come in, so even though I've got more stuff coming in that is probably going to be part of the second video of this, I just want to open this stuff, and I want to show y'all what kind of the goodies that are on their way. So here's this is probably actually a pretty famous image from the Amiga community. Most of y'all kind of know this. This is the Apollo kind of wallpaper kind of thing, and it's in the form of a freaking postcard, and it says, "Thank you, Taylor, for your order. Love, Amiga Store EU." So thank you, Amiga Store. Y'all guys are great. This is the one. This is the first order I've gotten from Amiga Store, and other than the slow shipping, which honestly, I'm gonna be honest, kind of sorry, your Spanish shipping and post office stuff kind of sucks. But hey, I understand what it. Okay, so I'm gonna stop right here because I did not expect this to come in this package. I just saw something that I didn't even expect to be in this package. So, unfortunately, one of those packages that I thought was going to be coming in from Spain in the next couple of weeks or days is actually in this box. And my dad, once I open this, is going to absolutely, pardon my French, but I'm just going to say it, he's going to shit a brick. He's absolutely going to shit a brick when I show this. So, I did not expect this to be in this box. So, this is kind of a surprise for me because I already saw it, and this is absolutely crazy and nuts. So, I'm going to try to keep that out of the camera and out of the limelight and show some of the more smaller things before I get to that. So, as you can probably see, this is the new joystick that I bought. This is basically a replica QuickShot. It's in crazy colors. The thing of it is Amiga Store says that you will not know what colors you get. It's just kind of like what they have is what you get kind of thing. They just pluck one off the shelf and shove it in your box kind of thing. So this is basically a replica QuickShot joystick because we don't really have any original joysticks worth the darn. And people on our live streaming have said, hey, you need a joystick, you need a joystick. Well, we got a joystick, guys. So there you go. It's about $25, $26 US. So They look pretty awesome, and I actually kind of like this color. This is kind of one of the colors that I was kind of going for, wanting a color scheme, is the bright yellow and green, because I have some Irish blood in me and I like my green. So we'll go with that. So let me get some of this stuff out of the way. Here, let's get this out of the way. Alright, so this is the next piece of equipment that we have. This is actually not for us. So this is actually for a buddy of ours, Alex. So shout out to Alex Cheney. We are actually currently trying to build him a 2000 with a custom blacked out case and everything. So thank you, Alex. This is going to be one of your new accessories. This is a Rice Mark II adapter right there. And here you go. That's it right there. Cool thing about this guy is, and we actually use these on our 4000 for Pints and Amiga on our live stream episodes and everything. These are awesome little devices. So they're 9-pin to USB, and they do both mouse, USB mouse, and USB joysticks, joypads, all that sort of thing, and they're awesome. So they will take your mouse spot, turn it into a USB, if I can keep it in my hand, a USB mouse, or it will take your joystick port in like what we do, and do USB joypads. And these have an EEPROM in them. So all of the stack and everything is already pre-configured. You don't have to do nothing but hook it up to your Amiga. And there's flashing lights that indicate one light is joystick, two lights is joypad, but it's modified to give you a jump button. Number 3 lights is mouse emulation mode, and then 4 lights is CD32 pad. So if you have, like we do, and you have USB SNES controllers like what we use, that gives you all the buttons and gives you perfect compatibility for doing CD32 stuff. So you're welcome, Alex Cheney. There you go. This will be one of your add-ons for your custom black on black, blacked out Darth Vader style custom 2000 that we're gonna set up for you. Texas weather's been kind of crummy here lately, so we haven't been able to finish up the paint for you, but trust me, man, it's coming. So that's for you, bro. All right, moving on. Now my dad is kind of, I don't know, he's kind of moved over off somewhere, so he's got some things kind of okay, so I have that. All right, so yes, this is all correct. So wow, I didn't want that. I didn't know that was gonna be in there. I'm sorry. I want to show y'all, but my dad's not here right now, and I want to see his reaction. This is gonna be intense. So here we go. These are the SCART to 23-pin RGB for Amigas and stuff. These are real 23-pin RGB video ports and everything, adapters. These go from RGB to SCART. These work perfectly for the generic like $30-$40 SCART to HDMI adapter, upscalers and stuff that everybody uses. Jamie from Morgan Just Games, Lemon Amiga, they all use them and everything. These are great cables, and with the real 23-pin hood, which makes it a lot easier to do. And I have 2 of them. I can't get it open. I have 2 of them. So we have new harnesses for all of our machines, like our 500 or 600 and things like that. So there you go. Let's see, what is this right here? Matt Joy. Okay, so this is actually supposed to be Alright, Amiga Store, this is kind of janky, but this is actually supposed to be the box for the joystick. This is supposed to be the box for the joystick, and as you can see, the whole black on black on black looks, on these joysticks, it looks just like a original, like, Quick Shot controller. So, they're basically like a replica Quick Shot. It's awesome. Okay, so here we go. Alright, so here comes the last of this out of this box, since my dad is now back. I think he had to move some cars around or something, so Dad, prepare to, again, pardon my French, but prepare to shit bricks, because I did not expect this to be here. So, yeah, let's just make this happen. So yeah, that's what exactly my dad is over there just going like, what the, like he can't even keep his mouth off his floor. That's a Vampire 500 V2 Plus. So yeah, that's exactly that. So yeah, that kind of happened. I did not expect this to be in this box. I was expecting this to be in a whole nother shipment. So I'm actually very surprised to see this in this box. This is a lot of things kind of happening right now. So yeah, to basically put this in thing, me and my dad have been talking about between putting this in the 500 to 600. Well, recently, Amiga Store got the 500s in stock. And I had a little bit of a slush fund that I've been saving up for months now. And I basically had the money for this in my savings account kind of already pre-saved up and ready to go for when they had them in stock, or when somebody had them in stock. Unbeknownst to my dad. So when I saw the 500s in stock, I was like, I gotta get them, because they never come in stock. And no telling, in the 600s, the ones for the 600 have been delayed so many times that when I saw that the 500 V2 Pluses were in stock, I had to buy it right then and there, because they were probably no telling when they were gonna sell out. So I had to do it. And I kind of kept this a secret from my father. So you're welcome, Dad. Count it as maybe like an early Father's Day or something. I don't know. So let's just go ahead and open this beast. So yeah, there you go. I did not, again, I was not expecting this to be in this box with this. So this is absolutely out of my control. Be very careful when taking the card out of the ASD bag. You could damage card headers. Okay, so let's be very careful. Just try to be surgical with this. So there you go. Okay, so yeah, there you go. There's the Vampire 500 V2 Plus. And yeah, it's got SD card storage. Unfortunately, I don't think you can boot off of it yet, even with some of the newer cores and everything. HDMI out. There's also a spot for an Ethernet module. However, I didn't get that because we have Guru Nets and other Ethernet solutions. I didn't think we really needed that. This has, so for the few that might not know what this is an FPGA based accelerator for this particular one for the 500. And it basically has a stock on there. The core for the FPGA is basically a stupid fast rocket to the moon 68,000 processor that's faster than even a 2.0 at its fastest. This is darn near next generation Amiga level of acceleration here. This is stupid. It has HDMI output, so it has its own built-in output. It gives you millions of colors and things like that. It has an IDE interface on it for hooking up a hard drive that you can boot off of. And it does have 128 megs of fast RAM built into it. So this is a stupid accelerator. For y'all that aren't aware or anything, this is a hard to get accelerator, and I was happy to actually find one that was in stock and actually had the slush fund saved up. If I don't get the bag stuck to my elbow, to actually be able to afford it. So this is a basically a $380, $385 accelerator for a 500, but it's a smoking accelerator. It basically takes over. It makes a 500 just stupid. If you can afford this, do it. Because in my opinion, once you throw on, an ACA 500 Plus or all the countless other accelerators, Witchers, all that sort of stuff, and you blow out your Amiga, and you put a OCS, flicker fixer and stuff on it, and a Z3 board, and all that crazy junk, you're basically at the price of this anyway. So, when you can find them in stock and you can afford them, get it, because it's worth it. And like I said, I'm surprised to even hold this in my hand. I didn't even expect this to be in this box. So, thank you, Amiga Store, for actually stocking them and actually getting a piece of them in stock. They sold out fairly quick. They are sold out now, so unfortunately you can't get them anymore. So Apollo's been having some really bad supply issues. So again, lucky to get this. Glad to have it. My dad's jaw still is still on the floor. So that will be going in our 500. So let me get this back in this electrostatic bag here. So, and again, that was an absolute surprise. The moment I opened up that box, y'all could see my face. But rewind the video. I was absolutely flabbergasted because I did not expect this to be in there. And there's a user manual and an installation manual, so be on the lookout for that in the coming months, because that will be definitely featured on a Pints Amiga live stream where we will be showing off the Apollo and a 500. Also, I'm curious about loading up those new AGA cores and seeing how that works. Yeah, you heard me right. That's an OCS machine turned into an AGA machine. So we're gonna see how that works out. So excited, guys. That was fantastic. That right there is almost a video by itself. But we have a couple more things to talk about. Mostly pertaining to, first, some things that were actually sent to us. That's right, we have fans that will actually send us stuff to us. In this particular case, one fan in particular, Mr. Steve Edgar to be exact, and I'm sorry if I screwed up that last name, but trying my best here. But he is a fan of ours from Dallas. He was actually featured in Pints in Dreamcast episode 4, if I'm not mistaken, and he decided to send us a couple of interesting things through the mail. To start with, we have in a little Ziploc baggie. Now, I've already pre-constructed this and put it together and everything, but he gave us, or sent us, a little 3D printed mount for a 2000 Gotek. And as you can see, I've already got it mounted in there, already situated, glued in, all that good jazz. All, good and everything. And yeah, it came in multiple pieces. I had to super glue the face plate on and all that good jazz, and mount in the board and all that good and everything. But thank you, Steve. Awesome. We needed that. We're trying to currently build a 2000 of our own outside of just Alex's custom 2000 that we're building. Man, I'm starting to get a bunch of both trash and goodies kind of stacked up here off camera that's getting a little bit out of hand. Next up is, and this might look slightly familiar because it is slightly familiar. This is another 4000 daughter board that Steve sent us. However, this one's a revision B version 1, and we don't have all the parts for this yet. We may very well build this ourselves, but we gotta source all the parts and everything for it. But this is a later or an earlier version of the one that I already bought. And right when Steve was sending us this, I just bought that. So sorry, Steve, but thank you, Steve, because we're gonna build this one too, and maybe we'll keep it as backup, sell it, who knows. So maybe give it away to a lucky viewer or something, I don't know. We're gonna find out, but we need to build this one, and thank you, Steve. But again, this is a revision B1, B version 1, and I have the B version 1.2. And there are slightly differences, but yeah. Thank you, Steve. Next up from Mr. Steve, this monstrosity of a card. You're going, what the heck is that? So, this is a Intel Pentium 4 with 2 gigs of RAM, Ultra SCSI IDE, USB, VGA, PS2, all of that. This is basically a Windows XP machine on a board. That will, as you can probably see, has a PCI connector, but also an ISA or ISA, however you want to pronounce it, connector. This, my fair gentlemen, or ladies and gentlemen, I should say, will go in a 2000. You put those last slots, ISA slots on a 2000, this will go in there. However, this is not a bridge board or anything like this, This just basically steals power from the Amiga and puts a PC inside of your Amiga. So, interesting, kind of cool. Gives you basically a retro XP machine on a card inside of a 2000. Kind of neat. So, moving on, and almost done. I'm going to take another sip of my beer here. 2 last little things, and these are projects of our own accord. And that just fell. Projects of our own accord that me and my dad just recently fixed up and finished. So, starting off, this is our modified Gotek, and it has, for the first time ever, our first encoder mod. So yes, that is a dialed encoder that we did to a regular Gotek. It's got the OLED mod and everything on it. Dad just finished this up about an hour before this video being filmed, that is. And yeah, so we now have a nice little encoder pot, and it works fantastic and so much quicker and nice. So thank you, Dad, for fixing that up for us. So that's a nice little project we've been working on. We also have our Workbench 3.14s for our 2000 that were just flashed and everything. These are G-Lab flash ROMs and everything that we just got done flashing. And then our recent most important modification, and you're going, that's an ATX power supply. Well, not really, because it's got a 500, 600, 1200 5-pin connection on it, and it's got an extra power rail. So we took an old ITX, ATX power supply and modified it, and we used the 24 pin rail, so it's all conditioned and all that and everything. It's done right, not wrong or anything. But we left one of the power rails for external stuff active. And yes, we have a big button rocket switch for it. But yeah, so because my 600 here, as I mentioned before, is a PAL European 600, it came with a PAL European power supply, which obviously doesn't work in 120 US. So yeah, we had to figure out a solution to get that bad boy powered. Came up with this because we had plenty of these lying around. So we didn't chop the end off of the power supply. We actually opened the original 600 European 600 power supply, unsoldered the actual cable, and soldered it in there and made it right and all that good jazz, and it works fantastic. And like I said, it's using the actual 24 pin rail that would be normally used for a PC, but adapted right, so it's got all of the normal conditioning and regulation and all that, and then we've implanted the soft start switch, so that's where that's going to come in for the 600, and also that 500 with that freaking vampire. And my dad just slid me over one last piece of hardware as a homage for the end, just as a quick plug. Thank you, Mr. Carlos. We've been talking about these for a while from our live streams and everything else, and can't plug these enough. But thank you, Mr. Carl, for these fantastic Guru Nets. These are strictly for Amiga, for the Guru Nets. These are parallel network adapters. Mr. Carlos. These are parallel. And why is my phone going off? I'm sorry about that. But these are parallel Ethernet adapters, all like a Plipbox, but better, because Mr. Carlos has redesigned and re-engineered the Plipbox to make it better, simpler, and easier to work with. And this particular one with the GuruNet is for Amiga systems only with a parallel port. He also has all Amigas. He also has the Guru modem, which is over a RS-232 port that works with any system with an RS-232 port. Everything from PCs, Amigas, Macs, all of it, retro, modern, all of it. So keep an eye out for the Guru Nets and the Guru modems. And this is, again, these are made by our good friend Carlos at electronicsisfun.com, and you can find them there and on eBay. And so thank you, Carlos, because these are one of our biggest network solutions for all of our Amigas. And I'm sure if we had any retro PCs or other retro machines, we would probably have a couple of Guru modems too. So thank y'all, everybody, for tuning in. Thank y'all, and I hope everybody had as good of a beer as I did. And holy crap, was I excited to see that vampire card in that box. I was not expecting that. So y'all have a good evening, and y'all have a good day, and we'll see y'all during the next video. Bye.